was here. I want my sisters to know I was here. I want my great-granddaughter to know I was here.
The first national tour of the acclaimed Tony Award-winning musical Suffs is here in North Texas on stage at Bass Performance Hall in Fort Worth. It's the only stop in Texas, you guys. We're feeling quite special indeed. And we've got two of the stars here this morning, Trisha Jeffrey and Victoria Piquel. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Good morning.
So glad to have you guys here. So let's talk about this production, because behind every powerful woman are more powerful women, of course. And so, Trisha, for those who aren't exactly familiar with Suffs, what exactly is it about?
Well, this show is about women fighting for the right to vote, the women's suffrage movement after Susan B. Anthony. So you have Alice Paul and Doris Stevens, and you have people like Mary Church Terrell and Ida B. Wells. It is an amazing story of women coming together to fight for the same things, what they went through, the adversities, the struggles, the love that they had for each other. But also, they came together for one common goal.
Yes, yes, indeed. Can I ask you, when someone steps into Bass Performance Hall, I mean, what is the experience? What can they expect when they sit down in that seat?
I mean, I think they're going to learn a lot. It's obviously a very educational show. It's based on real history, but it's also really funny. It's hilarious. It's really heartwarming. It's really inspiring. People often leave in tears. I think it's got great music. I mean, it won the Tony for Best Score and for Best Book. So I think it's a really amazing show.
It's a great show
with a really amazing cast.
I had an audience member last night, bumped into her outside. She goes, "I didn't know it would make me so emotional." Good. So I think Texas is ready for us. The audiences have been great so far. And we want y'all to know y'all can shout, y'all can scream, y'all can get up and dance and march with us. Okay, so come out and see our show. It is so much love and so much fun.
But you know, I think there is a piece that does make you emotional when you're learning something that maybe you thought you knew about or you thought you knew the history of, because as far as Susan B. Anthony goes, she did fight for the right to vote. She just didn't fight for everybody necessarily. And so having this history be discussed when maybe it wasn't necessarily in your textbook is incredible. And it is emotional indeed. And so I want to dive into your characters a little bit, how you knew Mary Church Terrell was right for you. I mean, did you lean into her? Was that who you auditioned for? Tell me more.
Mary came to me. Mary Church Terrell came to me. She was a civil rights activist, an educator, and a suffragist, and she fought tirelessly. She believed in racial equality as well as gender equality. And this woman did not give up. She did not give up. She was very good friends with Ida B. Wells, and they may have had different ways on how to go about the movement. But she grew up in Memphis. She was born in Memphis, went to college, was one of the first black women to graduate college, and her father was a millionaire in Memphis. So she could have lived an easy life, but she decided to instead fight for equality because she wanted the world to expand, and she knew that everyone deserved, you know, the right to happiness.
You know what? She was the type of woman who believed there was space at the table for everyone to eat. And that's my type of woman indeed. I'm coming to you, Miss Girl, Victoria, because this is not only her first national tour, but she also just graduated from Yale, which is incredible. And so tell me, because what you guys started touring a year ago or so, right? At this point. And so what has the last year been like for you, going straight into a production right after walking the stage?
It's been amazing. I mean, it's the perfect show. I majored in political science and theater, so those two interests really come together in this incredible production. I've gotten to learn from incredible castmates who've been on Broadway and have been doing this career for so many years. And not only that, but traveling the country with this story in this time, I think in this political climate, this story is so powerful and it's so moving. It's so necessary. And every single city we go to, it feels so charged and it feels so incredible. And so I feel very spoiled. This is a great first job.
It really is. I mean, incredible,
it's very awesome. Yeah.
People don't usually come out on top after that first job, for sure.
I know, I'm grateful.
Okay, so let's talk about, I want to get personal with you guys for a second, especially since you guys have been doing this show for the last year. And as I said at the beginning, behind great women are more great women, and that's really what this production celebrates. And so do you have a story or a personal anecdote that you've had with a powerful woman who maybe changed your life?
Wow,
I would say my great-grandmother. So she lived to be 108 years old, which I got to know her into my 20s, which I think is a very rare experience. And she was an incredible trailblazer, and she spent her life volunteering at the polls, making sure black folks in her community in South Carolina would get out and vote, making sure they paid poll taxes and literacy tests. There were so many barriers in place, particularly in her area for black women, and she was dedicated to making sure that they could get out and vote, and I think that's been really inspiring, particularly with this show. So my great-grandmother Elise Martin is that for me.
This is a tribute indeed.
She was the person for sure.
She was the go-to
She was
gal.
amazing.
Oh wow, very good story indeed. You got one for me?
Well, my grandmother. So I was surprised because my grandmother was that woman who inspired me.
Yeah.
And you know, my grandmother grew up in Jamaica. My parents were both Jamaican, or are both Jamaican, and you know, she basically built herself up in the U.S. and told me that I could do anything that I put my mind to. And so when I think of women fighting for empowerment and just being seen, she's one of the first people that I think of.
You know what? The women in our lives, they set the charge, and they're the ones that we follow. And it seems like that is exactly what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
And in such a beautiful way indeed. Thank you so much for coming out here. They only stop in Texas to actually share that with us, and we're so grateful indeed. And for you guys at home, Suffs, presented by Performing Arts Fort Worth, is now on stage at Bass Performance Hall through August 9th. Yes, now through August 9th. All you have to do is go to basshall.com for showtimes and tickets. Make sure you guys are there. This is going to be one that you don't want to miss.